This video is intended solely for educational and documentary purposes. It contains no ideology or propaganda. The Atlantic, May 1941. Cold sea air stings the skin. The sky is a flat gray. Gentle waves roll across the Danish Strait between Iceland and Greenland. The water temperature is barely 8 degrees Celsius. And here, within moments, one of the fastest and most devastating naval disasters in history will unfold. Hood versus Bismarck. On one side, the pride of the Royal Navy, the battle cruiser HMS Hood, a floating symbol of British naval dominance, once the largest warship afloat. Stunning to behold, armed to the teeth, but with a hidden vulnerability few suspected. On the other side, Nazi Germany's newest weapon, the battleship Bismarck, a fortress of steel, 8 15-inch guns, heavy armor designed to resist almost any shell, and a mission: break into the Atlantic and destroy Allied merchant convoys. Operation Rheinübung was meant to be Kriegsmarine's first great show of force, a statement of power, perhaps even a turning point in the Battle of the Atlantic. Origins of disaster. HMS Hood had been launched in 1920, designed in an era when speed and firepower trumped protection. Her deck armor was thin, especially against plunging fire when shells arced down from above. By 1941, she was a veteran, beautiful, imposing, but outdated. Planned upgrades had been delayed for years. Admiralty hoped she wouldn't face modern battleships in direct combat. Captain Ernst Lindemann commanded the Bismarck, accompanied by the heavy cruiser Prinz Eugen. Their goal? Break through the British blockade, slip into the shipping lanes, wreak havoc. But British intelligence was watching: radio intercepts, air reconnaissance. By May 23rd, Royal Navy cruisers had spotted them in the strait. At 5:37 a.m. on May 24th, the guns opened fire. The engagement would last less than 10 minutes, but in those 10 minutes, over 1,400 men would die. The first salvos. The Royal Navy brought Hood and the brand new battleship Prince of Wales. Germany answered with Bismarck and Prinz Eugen. Prinz Eugen fired first. Its shells struck Hood, sparking fires. Then, the decisive moment. At the 8th minute, Bismarck's 4th salvo found its mark. Witnesses say a shell penetrated Hood's deck and ignited her magazine. The explosion was apocalyptic. A 262-meter-long ship ripped in half. Hood disappeared beneath the waves in less than 3 minutes. Of her 1,418 crew, only 3 survived. A national shock. The loss of Hood was more than a tactical failure. It was a national trauma. The British public had seen her as invincible. Winston Churchill's response was swift. Sink the Bismarck. Why did it happen so fast? First, Hood was old, not built for duels with modern battleships. Second, her weak deck armor. Bismarck's shells rained from altitude. Third, fate. One lucky shot, straight into the ammunition hold. Historians still debate, was it engineering failure or chance? The Admiralty later wrote, "The probability of such a hit is extremely low, but one shell can decide a battle." Survivors. 3 men lived: Signalman Briggs, Gunner Tilburn, and Seaman Russell. All were topside during the explosion, thrown into the sea. They recall a column of fire, flying debris, then silence. Water temperature, 8 degrees. No lifeboats could be lowered. They floated in freezing water for nearly 2 hours before HMS Electra rescued them. Bismarck's mistake. Bismarck didn't escape unscathed. She took 3 hits. One punctured a fuel tank. She began leaking oil, leaving a trail across the sea. That trail made her trackable. The pursuit begins. Rear Admiral Lancelot Holland commanded Hood. Experienced, cautious, ordered to intercept. On May 22nd at 20:55, Hood and Prince of Wales departed Scapa Flow. Initially escorted by destroyers, they continued alone. Meanwhile, Bismarck and Prinz Eugen moved through the strait. Sea calm. Visibility excellent. May 23, 1922, British cruisers, Suffolk and Norfolk, spot the enemy. Bismarck fires, inaccurate but intimidating. Holland prepares for battle, close range. He wants the first shot. Dawn, May 24th, 5:35 a.m., the first light. North Atlantic winds calm. A bright, clear morning. British ships approach on a closing course, nearly head-on. But Holland makes a mistake. To close distance quickly, he steers at an angle. That limits Hood's firepower. Only forward guns can engage. 4 barrels versus 8. 5:52. Bismarck and Prince Eugen fire. Prince Eugen's advanced targeting system lands early hits. Hood is ablaze. 5:55. The British answer. Both Hood and Prince of Wales target Bismarck, but they're still dialing in their aim. 5:59. Bismarck scores a direct hit on Hood. A shell detonates either in the engine room or near the ammunition stores. The result? Catastrophe. Inferno. A blast erupts. Fire towers 300 meters high. The great ship breaks apart. Within minutes, gone. 1,418 souls aboard. 3 survive. Rear Admiral Holland dies at his command post. Radio contact ends. HQ is stunned. Counterattack. Prince of Wales fights on, but her guns malfunction. A new ship still untested. She withdraws under cover of smoke. But one British shell hits Bismarck's fuel tank. That detail will prove crucial. All-out hunt. London is furious. Fleet-wide alert. Sink the Bismarck. May 25th. Bismarck heads toward Brest, France. But over 50 British ships converge on her path. The Royal Navy commits everything. Carriers, battleships, cruisers. May 26th. The carrier Ark Royal launches Swordfish torpedo planes, outdated biplanes, wood and canvas. But one torpedo cripples Bismarck's rudder. Now she can't steer. She circles helplessly. A sitting target. Final stand. May 27th, 8:47 a.m. Bismarck is surrounded. King George V and Norfolk open fire. She fights back. Weather clear. Distance close. She holds for over an hour. But the end is inevitable. 10:39. Bismarck sinks. Of over 2,200 crew, just 114 survive. Epilogue. This was the fastest major naval disaster in British history. A ship thought unsinkable, gone in minutes. One shell changed everything, but it marked a turning point. From now on, aircraft, not armor, would decide naval battles. The world would never be the same again.